Hello everyone, you are listening to the Video Gabecast episode 17? I think? I don't know. You'll see it in the title of the show. For those of you who are joining me on Twitch, 17? I am that was me turning on and off the Twitch audio. I'm broadcasting on Twitch, so if you want to watch me talk into a microphone, you may. Usually what we do on this show is it's myself and at least one other guest talking about games, what we're playing, what we're interested in, etc. But because my guests have lives and school and all sorts of fun stuff, I decided to do this show alone because it is high time I did an E3 podcast, and I was waiting on my guests, and they just could not get free, and that is okay. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to jump right into a few things that grabbed me about E3. Actually, before we begin, I actually have to say something that has nothing at all to do with video games. By the way, this is Bridgeport Kingpin. It's okay. I don't know. I think Deschutes makes better beer, but Bridgeport has a lot higher alcohol content. This stuff is 7.5, and it's hard to find a beer with a good alcohol content that just isn't like real bitter or gross. At any rate, so a few weeks ago there was a shooting at a school in Portland, Oregon, where I live, Reynolds High School, and as far as I know, it was only one other student that got killed. Student brought in, from what I know, the little bit I heard on the news, student brought in a rifle, shot a student, went into the bathroom, and I guess they barricaded the bathroom or something. He ended up shooting himself. The cops had rushed in, everything. So a teacher actually had gotten shot, and even though he had been shot, he sounded the alarm. He didn't die, as far as I know. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because I have a little bit of a stage, all whatever 30 of you that are going to download this podcast, and I appreciate it. I have a little bit of a stage to scream about mental health. It's ironic. Mental health is very neglected in this country, and whenever something like this happens, people do the thing where like, oh, well, the guns, we need to make more gun laws. And I don't have a problem with gun laws existing at all. The thing is, we have enough. Especially in Oregon, we have more than enough gun laws, and if you look at states like California that have more gun laws than anywhere else, it's good evidence that it doesn't work. Okay, the point is there's enough gun laws. We need to just double down on the laws that we have and realize, usually with crimes like this, random shootings, the problem begins here. Now, I think with gang shootings, it's somewhat of an ethics thing, but that's kind of a different story. Point is, when someone walks in and shoots up the place, there's usually something wrong with their head. And people point the finger at the gun, they point the finger at the parents, and the parents actually probably might have something to do with this, I'm not sure, but we know so little about the human mind. So little. And it's frustrating because we pour so much into breast cancer every year. And don't get me wrong, it's good to invest in breast cancer because it's a horrible, horrible thing. Cancer is ruining and ending lives every day. But mental health is still very important. And it is the cause of a lot of deaths. And a lot of people, you know, they'll say stuff like, well, God told me to do it or whatever. I'm like, those voices in your head probably weren't God. And you're probably schizophrenic, and you should probably be medicated for that. Now, I don't necessarily think the government can go dragging people out of their homes and force meds down their throat, but I think we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay, I don't think we should ever do that. We need to at least do more mental health research, more brain research, so we can start pointing at the warning signs and saying, hey, this guy is exhibiting these symptoms, something's not right, and if we can match up the symptoms with an illness and get a medication for it, that would mean something. But it's just the problem starts here. The gun is not the problem. Okay? I have a gun. It's underneath my bed. I got 10 rounds in the clip and 1 in the chamber. I know what I'm doing. I know how to take apart my gun. I know how to clean it. I know how to lubricate it. I know how to keep it running well, because it is a machine, a simple machine, but a machine nonetheless. I know how to use guns. I'm responsible. I'm not crazy. I have anxiety problems. There are a lot of people out there that make me angry. There are a lot of people out there, I think, that shouldn't be alive, that hurt and kill other people, that are causing more harm than good. But I don't kill people because I'm not. I'm not military, and I'll go to prison. And I don't think I'd have the heart to kill somebody unless they were going to kill me. So anyway, this has nothing to do with video games, but I just have to get it off my chest that the mental health is neglected in this country, and people that commit crimes because they're mentally unstable need to be treated, not necessarily punished, because that's the only thing that will break the cycle. It doesn't matter how angry you are that they killed this person or that person. The only thing that will break the cycle is reform. Now, if someone just hates somebody, that's another problem. That's an ethics problem. There's a lot of people I hate. I'm not gonna kill them because I'm not a monster. Anyway, that video games, the fun stuff, not this depressing stuff. Rainbow Six Siege at E3. So I'm going to kind of get a decent sized video for you guys going on here. Whoop. Get this video going. So Rainbow Six Siege at E3. You know, you can see him looking in the windows and all that. They're I'll let you guys listen to the acting.
Alright, my drone spawned on the second floor.
If you're listening to the podcast, I'm very sorry. You won't be able to hear this. This podcast will go up when I'm done doing this Twitch stream. But just look up the Rainbow Six Siege G3 trailer and you'll get to hear the horrible acting.
I see the hostage. She's in the kids' room. They're barricading all the windows. Ah, shit. They saw me. Drone's out.
Okay, I say we breach the garage.
No, I'd rather not. I mean, they always defend it with a shitload of booby traps. I say we drop in the roof and breach the 3 second-floor windows.
So here you get to hear some of the bad acting.
I'm going to my spot.
Now, Pyro and I will take the large window. You guys take the rest. You got it?
So anyway, I don't want to bore the people that are listening to the audio show on iTunes or whatever the hell you're using, but
Wait. What? You all right?
Yeah, all good.
it's really bad.
On 3.
The acting is really bad. But with that said, They are kind of returning to old form. It's been a long time since they did a Rainbow Six Rainbow Six game. Period. The last game was Vegas 2, and I don't know. That was fucking what, 2009? I don't know. Maybe earlier than that. I'm just guessing. I don't know. But it's cool that you can shoot through walls. So in this trailer, in this gameplay trailer, what's happening here is you have a group of SWAT personnel, special operatives, and they are trying to take down a group of kidnappers, robbers, whatever you want to call it. They break in and they grab the girl, and you have to get the girl out safely, without shooting her, without her being shot, etc., etc. You can shoot through walls. You can lay explosives like C4, whatever the hell it is, on the walls and blow out the walls. You can actually blow up. You can blow through a wall and kind of walk above them on the floor above and blow that floor out and shoot down upon them. I just like being able to shoot through walls. It is always awesome whenever I play a game and an enemy is behind a wall. I can't shoot through that wall. It's kind of frustrating because I'm just so used to it, and it just does not feel modern for a game to not allow you to shoot through walls. Now, I love Rainbow Six. I play a little bit on the original Xbox, but most of my Rainbow Six time has been spent with Rainbow Six Vegas 2 on the Xbox 360, and then I ended up getting... I played Vegas 1 and 2, but mostly on 360, but I got Vegas 2 on PC. Occasionally I'll kind of dig back into that. Damn thing is, I can't get my Xbox One controller to work with it. Point is, Rainbow Six is great, and this is the first Rainbow Six game I've seen with okay graphics. Because all the other games just kind of looked like shit. As you can see in the video, he's bringing a drone in to kind of spec out the room. So anyway, I mean, there's not much to say about Rainbow Six Siege except for this game mode, which is like cops and robbers in a house, basically. I really hope they have terrorist hunt in this game, because that was what made Vegas 1. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for more Rainbow Six, because Ghost Recon Ghosts, Ghost Recon, I don't know, that free-to-play Ghost Recon game was good for a while, but it just doesn't have enough modes, and I kind of want this game to go right back to scratching that itch. I'm very excited to hear what kind of modes they're going to have for this game. So yeah, I guess I don't have much more to say about that. If I had a guest, they would be adding to my commentary. But Rainbow Six Siege looks really good. This game has been rebooted multiple times, and it's been too long. So I liked this Dead Island trailer. You got this jogger, he is getting ready, and it kind of looks like Grand Theft Auto. Looks a lot like Grand Theft Auto at first, and then it's kind of not. Turns out not to be Grand Theft Auto at all. Now, I liked Dead Island 1. I think the flaw with Dead Island 1 was you start out with this big open area, and then you kind of go into more and more narrow areas, and it kind of does the... It shouldn't be doing that. It should do the opposite, where you start small and kind of grow into a wider area. So you start the game with the best part, and that's kind of a downer when you're just kind of walking down hallways at the end of the game. That kind of game does not quite work in hallways. With that said, the combat in Dead Island was great, and the RPG mechanics in a zombie game kind of help keep the game going. worry, guys. I promise it's not video games that are so boring. It is the fact that I have a morning job, and at this time of night I get tired. But and also I've been drinking, so there's that. Because doing the show alone is kind of boring. But yeah, it's exciting to see new Dead Island stuff. I don't know the difference between this and Dying Light, to be completely honest. I think they're done by the same guys. I don't know, but I'm excited. I want more Dead Island, like right now. Dead Island Riptide was a horrible piece of garbage, and I bought that shit for like $40. It was like full price when it came out. So at any rate, yeah, it's a good trailer, and I don't really know what else to say about it. So we will. So there was, speaking of Dying Light and Dead Island, there was Dying Light gameplay, which I will queue up for you here. I don't know if anyone's watching me talk. I don't think so. Can't imagine anyone would be, because I'm just sitting here talking. And copy, paste. So Dying Light, got some Dying Light gameplay here. Looks pretty good. Looks so it's like Dead Island, but apparently there's a lot of verticality, like a lot of jumping around and climbing on shit. The graphics look really good. I really don't know if this is the same game as Dead Island or not. It kind of looks like the same game, but it looks good. It looks like there's gonna be a lot of cool melee combat in Dying Light, and nighttime is gonna be real scary. They seem to really make nighttime a bad place to be if you are a human fighting zombies. And the lighting looks great. Oh, closing the window. The lighting looks great. It's just the fire and everything burning up at the night, in the nighttime, with light reflecting off the walls. Yeah, Dying Light looks freaking awesome. I want a zombie game. The problem with most zombie games is they just kind of. The cool thing about a zombie game, if you're a developer and you don't mind people not buying your game, is that you just kind of take any kind of action game and then cover the enemies in blood and have them stagger around and rip out all the AI, and then you got yourself a zombie game. I mean that's kind of how it works. And Dying Light and Dead Island 2, they're kind of a step up, because they are absolutely zombie games. You know, you're blasting dudes that are falling apart and staggering around, but they have multiple types of zombies, and there's RPG mechanics and crafting mechanics, and there's a lot more depth to it. I just really hope that the level design does not suffer like it did in the first game. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited for some zombie murder, zombie genocide. So Far Cry 4 looks freaking awesome. You start off in the mountains, you're just kind of walking around. There's a part where you're kind of walking around on these cliffs. There's a little goat hanging out, and then boom, an eagle comes down and carries away the goat. You're walking across this log, and there's like 1,000 feet down. What I noticed about the Far Cry 4 trailers, they seem to kind of front load a lot of the stuff they give you in Far Cry 3 towards the end of the game. They give you the wingsuit pretty quickly. They give you like a grapple. You get a lot of cool toys right off the bat. At least in this demo. I don't really know how the game is going to start out, but You get this quiet crossbow, and it's kind of complementing the stealth of the game. And watch this, you can stick C4 to drums and knock the drums down and blow up everything. So they're going to have those outpost takeovers like they had in 3, where you kill all the dudes and then you have the outpost and your allies kind of take over the place. In Far Cry 3, you could also just shoot the alarm button so they couldn't sound the alarm and get more reinforcements. There's vehicles again, of course, and you can drive and shoot, so you jump in the seat, and as you're going along, you just point the gun right through the windshield and light some fools up. I'm really excited. You can hijack. You can jump from one vehicle to another and hijack it. And the graphics, I mean, even on this garbage YouTube video, where it's just kind of suffering from the fact that I'm doing so many things with my connection all at once, it still looks pretty damn good. You got the wingsuit once again, of course, and there's also a helicopter, like a single man helicopter you can jump into and just kind of fly around and blast dudes. It's real fast and squirrely. There's gonna be co-op, so if a second player jumps in, you can it disables all the story stuff. You two can just run around and mess things up. It looks really good, and I'm not a Far Cry 1 guy. I thought Far Cry 2 did a lot of really cool things with the fire and the fact that Africa is beautiful, and driving over the savannah and seeing the sun come up over the the sunset happen, at 5 in the morning or whatever. Seeing that is a moment in video games I won't forget. I mean, it was just amazing. It's just a big shame that that it didn't really do much more than that, and you had to deal with the stupid malaria and your guns jamming and breaking on you all the time. It just wasn't fun times as far as the mechanics, but it was beautiful. And Far Cry 3 was good. The only flaws with Far Cry 3 was that you get all these awesome villains in the game, and then you end up taking out many of them in quick time events, and that just kind of undersold the storytelling. You kind of want more than just, oh, I hate this guy, so we're going to enter a quick time event, and then he's gone. It was kind of anticlimactic, but I still really like Far Cry 3. And coming from a guy that didn't want Far Cry 1 at all, that didn't get why people liked it, to being very excited about a new Far Cry game, especially with me being so damn bored with video games in general right now. It looks, yeah, I can't wait to run around in the Appalachian Mountains, which is where this game is set. I don't know how big the map is, but I'm sure I will find out eventually. I will be playing this game. I will be. So what else? So Uncharted 4, there's another Uncharted game. I don't know. I just don't know how much I care, but it looks good. Graphics look good. Some people called this the Drake's face trailer, because it's just kind of zoomed in. So the trailer comes up and he's kind of passed out on the ground, and you get to hear the dialogue between
There's one thing I've learned in all these years, it's this
Sully and Drake. They're kind of just they're just going back and forth. The way they did before. I got to turn down this volume because I can't multitask. It looks great. I mean, the graphics for a launch game, not launch, but like an early PS4 game, looked really good. And apparently it's all like in-engine stuff. I mean, for a YouTube video, even like I said, it looks really good. I wasn't crazy about Uncharted 3, but 1 and 2 were alright. So I am excited to see what the hell this game is going to be. Maybe, he looks like he's aged a bit. You know, looks like he's not as young as he used to be, which is cool because I like older game heroes. A little bit of, you know, a fragile game hero is, you know, something special because they can't just, you know, there's nothing special about an overpowered character. With that said, I don't know. I will play it. I don't know what the gameplay will be like, but as long as it has a good story, I kind of don't care. More Uncharted 4. What else can I say? So, I still think Tomb Raider is better than Uncharted, in my opinion. Not as good. The story isn't as good, but gameplay I prefer in Tomb Raider. So, next up is Sunset Overdrive. Now, Sunset Overdrive is kind of like, even though it's an Xbox game, it's kind of like the opposite of what many Xbox 360 games were, which is just gray and brown and ugly, and just sadness and despair. This game looks like a fun, you know, just murder, genocide, kill all the monsters kind of game. It just seems like many of the enemies just kind of run at you. Like, there isn't a lot of AI going on, so I really don't know how fun this game will be. The graphics are really good. Like, really good, and it's just beautiful. I think it's worth checking out just for the eye candy. Big old monsters, little monsters, you know, you're just running around and grinding on rails like Jet Set Radio Future, and yeah, it looks pretty crazy. And I just don't know how the gameplay is going to hold up, because if it's just a mindless shooter, guess what, guys? There's a lot of those. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of crazy shooters that just don't really have any sort of thought-provoking elements to them, and I'm kind of bored. You know, there's too many shooters out there. Not enough good ones, in my opinion. In fact, there's all these Steam sales, and I just don't want to buy any of it. And this is coming from me, that a person is not very responsible about giving my money to Gabe Newell. Damn it. So, Sunset Overdrive looks interesting. I have no idea what the hell, like, how fun that game will be for a long stretch of time. Hopefully it's not another Titanfall. So I think, for me, the biggest deal, period, was this game called No Man's Sky. And as I said before, if you are listening to the audio portion of the podcast, I strongly advise you to look up this trailer, because it's very impressive. There aren't many games right now that are innovating, but this is a game that promises you can just fly wherever you want in space and land on whatever planet you want. There's giant monsters, there's dinosaurs, there's trees and bugs and everything flying all over. So it looks crazy. I don't know if they're going to deliver on this promise. So this game, it's a small team, very, very small team, Hello Games, and that's the name of the company, Hello Games. And apparently most of what's going on is randomly generated. Sorry. So just the computers, the systems that they've developed are randomly generating these planets and the wildlife and the nature and etc., etc. And they go in and tinker and stuff to make sure not too many of them are the same. But yeah, I don't know what it's going to be, because it almost sounds too good to be true, right? You know, we've heard stuff like this before, and it comes out and it's not what it says it is. But you can upgrade your ship. You know, you can do all this stuff. You can get into space battles with other ships, and then you go up into space and you can land on a completely different planet. And apparently, there's something going on there too. So maybe the planet's all wiped out. Maybe there's nothing there. I don't know. Maybe it's just a big flat rock with nothing on it, and the other planets are completely rad, and you just found the crappy one. So, No Man's Sky looked very promising, and everything else seems totally boring. Not everything else, but most games nowadays seem totally boring. Next up is a game called Cuphead. I actually didn't know about this game until I went online and started looking at E3 trailers. For those of you watching the video, it's a very Mickey Mouse, Disney style game. In fact, he is dressed almost exactly like Mickey Mouse, and he has gloves like Mickey Mouse, so it looks like a 1950s cartoon or whatever, 1960s cartoon. I don't know what era that is. I just watched the trailer as I was talking about it. For those of you not watching the video, yeah, it's got like the old-timey filter going on with all the popping and the stuff. It's a 2D shooter apparently, so you're shooting with your finger, and you're shooting giant plants and devil guys, and bats, and giant bouncy balls with big old punching bag fist hands. So it just looks very bizarre. Look up Cuphead. It's weird. I know it sounds like I'm on crack right now, but I promise you I'm not. So next game is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Now, I just didn't like Call of Duty Ghosts, but you won't get to see all of this video, but you can find it. Just look up E3 Call of Duty, and I'm sure you'll find it just fine. But they're finally, they're getting in some interesting guns, because my problem with Call of Duty for years is that many of them just kind of had the same guns. It's just different ways to get to that, a AK-47 or whatever the hell you're using. Rip off car doors and use them as a shield. Oh god! And I just accidentally got out of the video I was watching. There's all these weird flying bug things up in the air. I don't know what the hell they are. Laser guns. They got guns that shoot big old laser beams, and yeah, it's just a big straight beam. It's not a bunch of lasers that shoot out like it's not like a ray gun. It's just one solid beam, like the Sentinel beam from Halo 2 and 3, if you're familiar. Just they got these cool grenades you throw out and they float in the air and then lock onto enemies. It's future Call of Duty, and I'm very glad we're here, because Ghosts really sucked in my opinion. And I want to be excited about Call of Duty again, but yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of bored. And you know what? The single player might be good. It looks like it might be okay. The characters look like they could be interesting. I remember really liking Black Ops 1, the story in that game. The character stuff in this game kind of reminds me of the Battlefield campaign. So, anyway, from a guy, like I said, didn't like Ghosts, to really want to see more with this game, and what the hell is the multiplayer gonna be. We got light up ammo counts on your guns, little LED screens that tell you your ammo count. That stuff's cool. Reminds me of Doom 3 in a way. So looks like this is taking place in Asia, this gameplay demo, because there's like Asian characters on the signs and everything. I don't know what language that is. I'm ignorant. So I'm just gonna jump right into disappointments of the show. I was disappointed. Oh, actually, there was I forgot to bring up Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was at the show. It's called Mortal Kombat X, and they got the X-ray moves, and you know, just kind of the graphics look really good.
Cool. Now, guys, if you're watching and you have any questions, then
Shut up, the talking guy on the video. It looks like Mortal Kombat. It looks like a better version of last year's game. They're gonna have new characters. Looks like a girl version of Striker, apparently, with bubblegum. I don't get it, but oh, Cassie Cage. Okay, so Johnny Cage's sister or daughter, or something like that. I don't know, but they're adding new characters and everything. You know, as excited as I am to play new Mortal Kombat, I almost wish they did a new Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks game. If you didn't play Shaolin Monks was a two-player co-op beat 'em up where you could just kind of run around and whoop on enemies, and you just go through the levels and do all sorts of crazy combos, and it was really awesome. I don't know if it was successful for them, but I would have much rather seen something like that than another 2D beat 'em up, because I don't know if I'm ready for more Mortal Kombat quite yet. I'll probably play it regardless, but I think a longer wait would get me more excited. I'd rather get something different this time, but I'm also curious to see what they're gonna do with the story, because they kind of burned through most of what they had. I think it may have been leaning out of frame that whole time. Maybe not. They kind of burned through most of the story that they wrote with the old games. So, and we got fatalities, of course, violent as hell fatalities. Oh, ripping out a dude's heart. So yeah, there's that. Kotal Khan. There's some variant of Shao Kahn. Yeah, great. We're gonna have more of that. So yeah, more Mortal Kombat. That's hard to say. Nose isn't exactly working so great.
We were standing on the edge of discovery.
So there's a Doom teaser, and just it's nothing. I mean, I'm showing the video to those who are watching the Twitch stream. Yeah, it's just a teaser. There's no gameplay. The door at the end of the video makes a sound like an old Doom game door, like Doom 1 and 2 makes that sound. Yeah, it's not a very compelling trailer, but apparently next week they're gonna have more video of it at QuakeCon, so I'm pretty excited for that. But this was not. I wanted more. But maybe they didn't show much because they wanted people to pay attention to QuakeCon. Because yeah, I don't know how many people are excited for QuakeCon in 2014. I'm a little disappointed to not see anything for Gears, but I have a feeling that game has a long way to go. I'm just clicking on this Assassin's Creed Unity trailer. I don't know anything about it, but I'll let you guys look at this while I talk about whatever. Yeah, Gears, I really like the Gears franchise. It's pretty damn badass. The shooting in that game is hard to beat. It's, I go to Gears for the same reason that I go to id games like Doom and Quake. It's for the badass shooting. Now, what will Gears be in 2015 or 2016 or whenever that game happens. I don't know. Maybe it's just gonna be more of the same with really really good graphics, because we haven't seen many games with good graphics. Evolve looks pretty good, but I don't know. Let's go back to Nintendo. So I'm not that into Nintendo anymore, but I'm pretty excited to see they're gonna make something that looks like Kirby Canvas Curse. I've honestly forgotten what it's called, but Nintendo looks like they're really stepping up their game. No pun intended. They're gonna be releasing a bunch of games for the Wii U, because they know no one wants to buy that thing because there's no games. So I loved Kirby Canvas Curse. That was like the game on the DS for me. It's like the best game on that platform for me. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the hell they're gonna do. And they got some, what's that game? I don't know. It's like you're shooting. It's almost like paintball. Kind of reminds me of Mario Sunshine. You're shooting paint at each other and stuff. It's a new game from Nintendo, which is what they need to do, because all the franchises they currently have are just kind of sick of them. Zelda looks really good though. I mean, I will say, as much as I don't give a shit about new Zelda, that new Zelda looks like Skyrim with Link in it. So I'm very curious to see what the hell that is. Look that up if you haven't seen it. No Fallout 4. I screamed on the last podcast about how I wanted to see Fallout 4, and didn't get to see that. So I was like, oh, freaking crap. So I don't know. They want to make us wait again. I don't know why. I think it's what everyone wants. I think now is the time for Fallout 4. I don't know what else they have right now. I mean, people are still buying Skyrim probably, which is fine, but I don't know. I want Fallout 4. I did not care for Skyrim like at all. It's not for me. You know, it's fine if you're into Skyrim. It's a beautiful game with cool enemies and just an awesome world, but the gameplay doesn't grab me. The combat doesn't grab me. I want Fallout now. So I think we're long overdue for another Fallout game. I thought this was the time. I thought we were in the right kind of window for another Fallout game. But yeah, as far as like what I've been playing, I honestly don't know. I don't know what I've been playing. I have to open up Steam to find out. I haven't been playing anything, come to think of it. I just been totally uninterested in video games in a whole. I just closed the video because Steam's like, we're struggling. We're struggling to keep up with the horrible live stream of Twitch. Who's watching? Just me? Nobody comes to the Twitch stream. It's very depressing. So, what did I play? Oh, looks like there's some more Ghost Recon stuff on Steam. All games, recent. I played a bunch of Doom 3 BFG Edition again. I was bored, so I got back into that. Doom 3 is really easy nowadays, turns out. I'm way better at shooters than I knew. That game is a walk in the park. Just don't even have to try, and I'm full health, full armor all the time. Tried to play Half-Life 2. I was like, no. Been playing a bunch of Max Payne 3 because I'm bored, and I know I like Max Payne 3 still. I played Collapse, which is like a crappy Russian ripoff of Space Marine. I recommend, if you want to play a crappy Russian shooter melee game, that's it. The shooting is okay. So all the combat, swinging your weapon doesn't really feel like you're making real contact. It's just real kind of dull. I don't know. It's worth looking up just to see how awful it is. I might play more of that. Who knows? The shooting's still okay. Played some Tomb Raider. Got back into that. I had beaten it before, but said, what the hell. Tried to play Outlast, and running around looking for switches while I'm being chased by guys is irritating. And I just got angry and stopped playing. Played some Sniper Elite version 3 for about half an hour and realized I'm impatient, but that game is cool. Shooting the bullet and watching it tear through a dude in X-ray view sounds fucked up, but oddly satisfying. So if you're bored and you want a shooter right now and you don't mind slow ass games that take a lot of patience, you should look up Sniper Elite version 3. You might like it. That's about it, dudes. I tried to play Dark Souls and got to the first boss and got worked in about 2 minutes. Said, okay, I'm uninstalling this right now. So, and that's what I did. Played some Wolfenstein 3D. It's a 20-year-old game. Not much to say about that. Wolfenstein 3D is still an okay game if you want to play an old shooter. Doom is still better, but Wolf 3D is great. It started it all. First person shooter that I'm aware of. So and Ghost Recon Phantoms has an update. You should check that out. I will check that out. So anyway, it got dark in this room. Oh, there we go. When I go into a dark browser window, the screen does not light my face quite as well as it did. So anyway, guys, I'm sorry this podcast is so fucking boring. I just don't have any guests. Many of the guests that say, oh yeah, great, I will show up, then they don't show up. So if you like these solo shows, let me know, because maybe I'll do more of them. They're really fucking boring for me to do, but I feel bad because I feel like I need to upload something, and I need to talk into a fucking microphone. I need to. I have that itch, the itch in my soul. I need to fill. It only gets filled when I talk into a microphone. I just spit all over the monitor. It's alcohol. It's making me a little fuzzy. But if you or anyone else wants to be on the show, just look up Video Gabecast and find me on Twitter. I think my Twitter name is Gabe0083, all one word. Just look up Video Gabecast on YouTube or Twitter or Google or Facebook or wherever. You'll find me. Send me a message one way or another. I'll probably find it. Nice nerd 101@gmail.com is one of the email addresses I use for this nerdy podcast. So just send me an email there. Yeah, I really need guests. Lately I've been thinking, is this podcast worth it? Because it's I pay, every month, and I don't record shit anymore. Because many, I guess, they all show up and don't. So, and I think Ensign Paz is the only somewhat regular guest I've had. And he has been a key part of this machine that is the Video Gabecast. As am I a part of the machine. When I first started this show, I was saying, it's my goddamn show. I'll run it the way I want. But the longer I do it, the more I realize it's not about me. It's about us coming together and using video games as a tool to just talk and be dudes. Just talk about fucking video games. So At any rate, if you really like video games and you want to talk about video games and you're not shy, and you play more than one game, because I can't talk about one game for an hour, fire me a message, because I need people. At any rate, I really appreciate you guys listening. It's been 50 minutes of me talking about nothing, so thank you. If you have made it through this podcast, then you are a true fan and a hero to my cause of talking into a microphone about video games. At any rate, share the show with everybody you know, because I really need your help, people. Alright, see you later.